Caring in any regard about Roblox is probably the dumbest thing you can do. A platform based on imagination, creativity, and most of all accessibility isn't going to do so well when owned by a huge corporation that's motivated only by money. Just look at YouTube. There's a lot to like about Roblox, there's a lot of great features, but all that is going away now. Games aren't made the same way they used to be, not for the same purpose, not for the same players, and worst of all, not fun. Let's find out why. All Roblox historians look back to a specific year when they want to be nostalgic for better times. Times when everyone partied in cafe clubs with a disco floor and flashing rainbow lights. With their Bloxy Cola in hand, they could cut loose for an evening with all their friends from the comfort of their own home. Truly a marvel of technology. And that's all it was. That year was 2008, and to be frank, it's annoying as hell when people talk about it. It has such a negative, almost boomer mentality to it, and its main use in modern day is for little kids on Roblox to sound older than they really are. Despite all this, they have a point. Roblox in 2008 was a better experience for the user. Even though it didn't have all the features it has now, it was much more free and geared towards letting the player create rather than work. In other words, old Roblox was about building and playing, but new Roblox is about money and deception. For example, a proven formula for a successful game is this. I guess that's what the kids are into now. These have been around for ages, but they've grown over time to make use of Roblox's new features. What features are these, you ask? Game passes, and any other way they can get you to spend money. I mean, what the hell else can you add to these? It's simple, it's boring. The gameplay of this revolves around buying things with virtual money that you have to spend your other virtual money in order to get, and you get that virtual money by spending your real life money, so you're really just online shopping for something that you'll never actually have. Jesus Christ, what a headache. How popular are these again? Oh, it's the top fucking game. How do you think that happened? From it being a good game? No, there's something at play here that wasn't always at play before. Let's take a look-see. We know that the main difference between this and its older counterparts are the game passes, but what element allows it to beat out other games by so many folds? Well, let's compare it with another popular game, Arsenal, and see what makes that one tick. Arsenal is a shooter game, so it's already my field of expertise, where you and everyone else is given a rotation of guns that progresses for every kill you get. Everyone will start on the same one, but as the round goes on, it starts to stagnate. Whoever finishes the rotation first wins. Sounds fucking awful, but it's really popular. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of genius behind this game that you might not notice at first glance. You see, Roblox players are, well, they're Roblox players. They're not going to be so good at shooter games, save for except a few outliers, so those outliers would probably stomp the game so hard that they'd be the only ones left playing, right? Wrong. The guns that you rotate are all very different, and since the order is randomized, every interaction is almost predetermined by the weapons being carried. Your score isn't really dependent on your skill, a lot of it is left up to chance. The game isn't balanced, and that's what makes it fun. You're going to die unfairly, but by the same token, you're bound to get a few kills without actually having to be good at the game. To further make sure of this, they added in maps that are built for other game modes, essentially throwing strategy out of the window. This is different from older Roblox shooters like Crossroads, where everyone is given the same tools, always on the same map, where they can only improve and get to know the mechanics better. Experience decides your score, not being in the right place at the right time. But again, this is Roblox, so people who suck complete ass are going to like Arsenal better than they are Crossroads. So what does all of this mean? Arsenal completely reimagined shooters to make it one tailored for success on Roblox. Shitshow over here only locked everything behind game passes, and that one is played more. Now, it's not such a huge deal because Arsenal is still insanely popular, but these games are as high up on the scale as you can get, and your average dev isn't up there. As you go down, you start to see good games being empty and an obby with completely useless game passes trying to suffocate you full of players. It's game passes, I call it DLC, that keeps games afloat now. You rake in some Robux, put that money into advertising, and that helps you rake in some more. But it wasn't always this way. So what the hell is going on? How did Roblox take such a sharp turn? Is it just standard corporate greed, or was there a real catalyst for everything? It's hard to tell. I've never been to any Roblox board meetings, and the people who have don't typically share too many details, but we can still speculate from the outside looking in. I have a theory of my own, and though I don't do much talking around the community, I think it's a generally popular one. I think the direction Roblox went in was a result of a change in management. Except Roblox's management has always been the same, right? Well, we'll get into that in a second. Let's poke around to see what actually changed first. Typically, there are two major events cited for when Roblox turned, and those are the day that ticks were abolished in 2016 and Roblox's part with UMG, is that right? In 2018. They are, without a doubt, the worst received Roblox updates in history, being axed in favor of Roblox's revenue rather than the users. But when you start to take a peek at things, you can actually see that it starts long before this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back to October of 2013. In this month, Roblox starts up a streak of locking new features behind paywalls. Want to upload a shirt? It's gonna cost you. Want to change your username? Well, now you can for 1,000 Robux. Every new feature added to the site was either only for Builders Club members or costed Robux. This shows a big shift in Roblox's general business model, all starting in 2013, continuing through 2014 and 2015, and taking the big leap in 2016. By this time, Roblox had completely lost its interest in its user base. We let them push all these paywalls up for 3 years, and now they realized they could do anything. So, they removed the only free currency Roblox had, which was tickets, or ticks. What this meant was if you wanted to buy clothes, hats, or anything at all on Roblox, you had to spend real money. It's almost hard to imagine the days when you could get all sorts of items for free just by logging on daily. Obviously, huge protests rose up. Servers dedicated to keeping ticks were filled to the brim. Roblox's own ad system was being used against it, and everyone was in a panic. You could convert your ticks to Robux, but most people like myself didn't because we thought there was no way they would actually get away with removing ticks. The worst outcome of this wasn't that we had to pay for stuff, though. No, with the removal of ticks, games no longer generated revenue based off of player numbers. Before all this, playtime on your game generated ticks, and you reinvest those ticks into advertising so you could get more players for more ticks, for more ads, blah blah blah. Now, you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. This is why games that have more game passes and make more Robux are so much more successful, and ultimately, this is what killed Roblox's spirit. But we still haven't answered the question of how we got here. Well, my answer for it is pretty grim, so I'm not going to get too far into it. Basically, the co-founder of Roblox, Eric Cassell, died in February of 2013. He founded the company alongside David Baszucki, where Eric handled the engineering and development, and David handled the business aspect. Without a doubt, Eric wanted an accessible and fun building platform for everyone, and David wanted profit. When Eric passed away, David was left alone with huge cash cow potential, and so he took it, simple as. You already know how the story goes from there. Everything goes further and further to hell, so that leaves us with one last question, after a short intermission. All of this has gone on because we let it go on. Though many of us were against it, we did nothing in protest. We kept playing. We kept spending. Every corporation supporting Roblox kept supporting them. Nothing changed for Roblox except they started making more money. So how did this happen? Well, to be accurate, most of Roblox's player base are just little kids. Not only do they not really understand how things are changing, but they don't really care either. They log on, they see their friends, have their fun, and log off. They don't know any better, and to be frank, they don't need to. I think now it's time Roblox veterans let the new generation enjoy what they have, because we're not getting the old times back. There are some sites that focus towards having something better, but that's a discussion for another day. As it is now, I think it's time to leave the past in the past. Let it rest. That's all we can do.
Midnight and a rendezvous. Your eyes held a message tender, saying I surrender all my love to you.